Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
And nuts all got a natural saltiness to them.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders, let's talk Penguins and Rangers, but let's not talk about Flyers, cause they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
Episode 138 Friends and Rivals podcast coming at you live and hot. I am one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are
Four Eyes extraordinaire, Steve Wojtowicz.
Bill Fougere.
Blind as a bat, Rita.
all of you listening, I really wish you could see this very visual joke that we're doing to Steve right now. It is classic.
Tell him to go to @friends_rivals on the Twix.
There you go. He just did. @friends_rivals on the Twix, and you will see exactly what Steve gets to see tonight.
And it's hilarious, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Steve, since you don't have these glasses on, I'm going to move your box to the top left.
Okay, great.
That's what I'm doing. I'm still playing around with my tip from last week.
I like that. I am as well going to put Steve in the upper left.
Oh, yeah. I can move you on the phone. Ooh.
I don't like me in the bottom left, though. I got to go upper right.
I got to put...
Yeah.
I got it right now.
Yeah.
Riveting fucking podcast talk for all our listeners.
Yeah.
Well, we got to do something while you're snacking away there.
Yeah. What are you eating, by the way?
Toffee covered cashews. They're fucking delicious.
Ooh. Toffee covered. Were they like in your stocking for Christmas?
No, I went out to Costco and I bought them.
Oh, really?
Because I like them.
Wow. Costco.
Yes.
Costco.
Good. I'm a cashew guy too. This is going to be a great podcast today.
I will save you two. These are delicious.
Are they salted or not unsalted?
I don't know. I'm going to say not salted because the flavor of the toffee really takes over. They're delicious.
I could see that.
And nuts all got a natural saltiness to them.
Yeah.
Please isolate that for me.
So let's start off the podcast by talking about the GM meetings are coming up in fucking March, and what should be on the agenda for the GM's meeting in March to just either improve the game or make shit right. Can they do anything about the refs in general? Can they fire them all and hire new ones?
Can they simplify things for them a little bit by as it comes up in every single podcast? Can we just allow them to kick the fucking puck into the net and shut up about it for once and for all? You know, like that'd be one.
I don't get why there was such a huge talk about the Kreider goal against I think it was against Chicago, where he was stopping in the crease or before the crease. I think he was actually going into the crease, and the puck went in as he was stopping. It's not a distinct kicking motion. He was stopping. I don't even see what the review was about. I guess anytime a puck touches your skate, you got to review it. They review
every goal, period.
Yeah, but they were talking about even taking that away. Stopping away.
That's ridiculous.
How I mean, directing the puck, kicking the puck, stopping at the puck, and making the puck go in. Just let it go in and be done with it. Period.
Like Bill says, it takes just as much talent to kick a puck in off of a blade of steel as it does off of a stick.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
If you head the puck in, is it a good goal?
I don't think because you can't punch it in. Like if your hand is on the stick, you can't punch it in with your glove.
Yeah, you're not allowed with your hands, but with your head, I think you can. Did you say head?
Yeah, but if head. Are you allowed to head the puck in?
I think you can.
Let me give you more visuals. Can you
Thanks, bud. Yeah,
head the puck in?
That helps.
It's not a high stick if you don't use your stick.
Right, but if you're using your stick and you're physically trying to cross-check the puck into the net and it happens to hit your hand and not the stick, that doesn't count.
Not a goal.
Yeah.
Can't go
I
in
mean,
off
there's
your
some
glove.
precedents there. You know, you're not allowed to use your hands in soccer. It's soccer on ice, so you know there is some kind of precedent there about using your hands.
Bill, this is not soccer. It's not soccer on ice. It's completely different.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Sure.
can't go behind the net in soccer.
I wasn't trying to go point for point that it's exactly the same, but I was trying to make, you know, kind of a broad analogy.
Yeah,
of
but
them that don't
anytime you
their
use
hands
your
in either
hand,
sport.
anytime you use your hand in soccer, it's no good. But you can do a hand pass in a defensive zone in hockey. So don't sit there on your soapbox and tell me that hockey is soccer on ice.
Quote,
How the hell
players
did you know I was
are
on a soapbox? My God, that's so fucking random.
players are not allowed to deliberately headbutt the puck into the goal because it is considered a dangerous and potentially injurious play.
It's written injurious.
Yeah.
Injurious.
I mean, God bless them. Injurious.
INJURIOUS. Injurious.
Listen,
Yeah, the
I'm all
GM
for
meeting
them
taking over
heading.
grammar.
I'm all for heading,
Of course you
throwing,
are.
kicking, punching, deflecting, whatever you're doing with your hands, kicking, no matter what.
Knocking him with your
As-
cup.
If the puck goes in the net, the crowd's going to stand and cheer. Let
What
it
if you
happen.
pick it up and throw it?
Well, it's closing your hand. That's closing your hand on the puck, and that is a penalty.
But it's not when a defensive player does it in the crease. When he
If
grabs
defensive
it.
doesn't decrease, it's a penalty shot.
Yeah.
But it wasn't when it happened last week.
Did I
If you're
miss a
talking about
shitty call of the week?
Guy was behind the net, lifts the puck up over the net to try and bank it in off the back of the goalie. The defenseman caught it and tossed it to the corner.
Yeah, that
No
should have been a
penalty,
penalty
no
shot.
penalty shot, nothing.
That was completely missed. I do agree with you. That is.
So they're going to have to
but-
come up with a rule for that now, because that's going to become probably more prevalent, that kind of play of trying to flip it up over the net like that. Now that these guys, the skill level is just off the charts, right?
Has to be.
With every year, these players get more talented with picking the puck up on the stick and stuff like that. They're going to have to come up with some sort of rule that you can't close your hand on the puck as a defenseman, even if the puck is in midair.
I honestly thought that was always a rule.
Yeah, I think that is a rule already. They just got to
You
enforce
can
it. Like
knock
every
it away,
fucking
but
rule.
you just can't grab it and throw it, or
Right.
especially in the crease. I mean, that play in particular we talked about, that's a pretty much
But
unbelievable.
okay, so covering the puck in the crease is a penalty shot.
Yeah.
Is grabbing the puck in the crease and throwing it to the corner just a stoppage in play, or is it a penalty shot? Does the crease extend vertically, or is it just on the ice?
Well, that what you just described, if the puck is on the ice and you put your hand down and move the puck to
Penalty
the
shot.
corner,
Penalty
it's
shot.
not a penalty shot.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
You have to physically cover.
No, a defensive player cannot touch the puck with his glove in the crease other than the goalie.
I thought it was just covering. I didn't know it was just touching.
Can't touch it.
Because I have seen
Can't
that
push
a
it.
billion
Can't
times.
push it under
We've
the
seen
goalie.
we've seen
It's
guys knock it
fairly
away.
new. It's fairly new that you can't even just put your hand on it and slide it under the goalie.
That wasn't in the new rules for 23-24. We specifically reviewed those on the air. Maybe they were last year.
Maybe there's a new rule before that. There's some rules that like I didn't know were rules, and they've been like around for like a decade. You never know.
Defensive players in the crease area are prohibited from covering or grabbing the puck, concealing it, or taking it out of play, or the official can award a penalty shot for the attacking team.
But I've seen
That
plenty
rule
of
sounds
guys
like you can
just
knock it out. That rule sounds like you could swipe it away, like if you're not covering.
Yeah,
it.
because I've seen guys even push the puck to the goalie so he can cover it.
That is not allowed. It's not supposed to be allowed anymore.
Fun and police do not allow that to happen.
Huh. Well, thank you for bringing that to our attention. I will be on the lookout with my new X-ray specs.
I had to tap out. My eyes are completely screwed up right now. Take them off and look at your computer screen. And it is like,
No,
it's like everything's that color.
no, everything is very vibrant in color. I can tell you that. Another thing is I'm getting tired of is this calling a regular penalty a major so they can go in and review it.
Mm.
This has got to stop. This can't continue to happen. This is worse than delayed. Do you want to talk about delayed game? This is delayed game. And if it turns out, but you can't give the ref a penalty. I wish you could.
Be nice if they could take one ref off the ice when they fuck up.
No, Bill,
A couple
that
minutes.
wouldn't help. That wouldn't help.
I take it back to there's got to be a 30-second time limit. If you can't figure it out in 30 seconds, then you can't call it. You had 30 seconds. That's more than enough time to watch a replay 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Yep. They got me this quick.
Yeah, some of them are getting ridiculously long.
30. You want to push it? You want to push it to a minute? Push it to a minute.
45 seconds. Let's split the difference.
But again, if you can't make that, but there's no need to take 5-10 minutes to review these calls.
Yeah.
If you got to go frame by frame,
I agree.
So I would like to see like what Nick has said a few times, like bring in some electronics into offside, and is it all the way across the line in the net, and just take the question out of it. Like light goes on if it's offside, whatever. But take that out of the ref's hands, because that's a pain in the ass to go back and have to make a team challenge whether or not it was offside, give them a penalty if they challenge it wrong, and then you got to review,
or if it is offside, figure
right.
out the time on the clock that it happened,
Yeah.
and then it takes the old guy sitting behind that computer in the penalty box 25 minutes to figure out how to adjust the time.
Yeah, they have to definitely look at the offsides call, because it shouldn't be so crazy to make it. I guess the rules are just too complicated for it. Is the way I'm thinking of this, because when we have guys and there's different, being able to figure out on the fly when guys are skating, 16 to 20 miles an hour across the blue line, with the puck potentially not on their stick, but it could potentially they could be halfway into the zone and beat the puck in, but because they didn't have possession, it counts or it doesn't count.
Yeah,
there's just too many variables that you can't. No one's going to get it right. It's just going to be impossible to interpret, and it's going to blow back really bad in a playoff game, and it's going to impact in a very important game, and it's going to be a big black eye.
Well, let me ask you a question though. If and utilizing technology, and if they put sensors around the perimeter of the puck, so all sides are covered, and they put sensors in the ice at the blue lines, they can tell exactly where the puck is in relation to where the player is.
absolutely.
Yeah,
that's the solution.
Yeah.
There's nothing else other than that. That's the only thing that they can do.
If Kmart was around, you could even have like a blue light under the ice, and it could have been a blue light offsides. Like you could involve marketing that way.
And they could
genius idea.
If you want it, and we use the skates, right, as the other piece to this. So if you put in the skates, if you put sensors in the front and back of the skate of every player, that should give you.
Hold on. I don't even think a sensor is needed for any of it, because we always take it back, Nick. You always take it back to tennis.
Yeah,
those tennis balls don't have sensors in them.
No,
they know down to the millimeter where that ball landed.
Well, but that's different in that, because you're only looking at the lines and the ball.
You're only shooting down the line in hockey.
Yeah, but you have to also consider where the players are. That's the whole thing. If the player is over from the offense is over the line, blue line with their skates before the puck crosses, then it's offsides, right? That's the other variable that we have in ice hockey.
I still think it's someone done without sensors.
But can't someone block that? What is it? A laser in tennis?
Yeah, I think it's just LiDAR.
You could do something even as simple as, once the puck crosses with a puck, right? There could be a little sensor that turns, green or whatever, right? And give a visual cue for someone to look at it when even if it's in a review, I'm saying, right? To give that quick, like, here's when it happens, because it's almost impossible to see from some angles because the way that players are in front of each other and everything. And that's just if you're doing a review. But in general, we should have the ability to have it flagged, immediately and call the play. Just let the computer do it.
I got
Go
it.
ahead.
Don't even need it.
Got it.
All we need is a little Amazon Alexa. And every time it sees that someone's offsides, it just plays the whistle sound. We could program that very easy. We could do that, no problem.
Folks, if you thought the Kmart comment was stupid, Tom just outdid it.
I'm happy to do that.
One
of the things that I can't even open my I almost couldn't open up my iPhone because of my glasses.
Because of those fucking things on your face.
No facial
Because
recognition.
of my glasses. You put the Friends and Rivals post up already. That's hilarious.
Of course I did.
That's funny. I thought you were gonna put it up tomorrow. Wait till we released it.
This way somebody can go back and look at it and it's there.
That's quality. One thing that wasn't on my list, maybe it goes into the refs in general, right? Is giving all of the refs the ability to call penalties on the ice and not just the 2 referees. Because there's now 4 that are just looking.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Way too many fucking penalties then. No. This one's going to miss it, or this one's going to call it because he always calls it, and this one's going to... No. Two is more than enough. It should only be 1.
I would like to see off-ice officials that, one covering each end and take like 2 guys off the ice. Just put 2 guys in shirts on because they get in the fucking way all the time too. If you're really
they are getting in the way more often.
They don't stop fights. They drop the puck only after a goal. They don't do anything else other than get in the way.
I think I like to see refs start to control games better because some refs do a good job, but man, sometimes it's just you watch these games get out of hand because they're not calling penalties and they should. And then inversely, they're letting flow the game get fucked up because of some ticky-tacky play. I think you gotta get these referees, some better training on how to manage a game better. Obviously, an obvious call needs to be called, but some of this ticky-tacky shit, they got to really watch that and throw guys out when they're throwing dangerous hits.
Conversely, as I will discuss, if a team has momentum and they're on a power play, obviously, sometimes they won't make a call because they don't want to give them a 2-man advantage. But if it's a blatant trip, you got to make the call.
Yeah.
And more often than not, they'll let the defensive team on a power play get away with a little bit more, and they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't. I don't like the linesmen either. They have too much power at the face-off circle.
But you want to give them the ability to call penalties.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. They just I don't understand why they kick a player out versus not kicking a player out. I don't get all of that. I really don't. There's some times where I see Zibanejad or Trocheck go in to take the draw, and they immediately get the boot
thrown out.
For what reason? Because they said something?
I think it's got to do with when they put their stick down.
Well, and
sometimes
whether it's
whether
down, or across the line, somebody else on the team.
It could be the winger. Yeah, it could be the winger cheating, and then they get kicked out.
But I've also seen wingers come in and cheat, and nobody gets kicked out.
Oh yeah.
So there's just inconsistencies across the board that are bigger than my glasses.
Agreed.
You heard it here first. Referees NHL inconsistent.
It'd be better if they had a way to signal that, hey, this was the winger, this was the guy that have a stick because it's a mystery to everybody. Nobody understands. Even the guys on the ice are screaming at the ref because they don't know what the hell's going on. That is the frustrating part. If you make it clear and obvious as to why someone got thrown out, like you said, if there's a winger's pushing too hard, and they're like, "Hey, that's it. He's getting thrown out because you're not listening to me, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do." That
Just
makes
a
sense,
simple,
right?
it could be just a simple hand signal. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, do this to the
Yeah.
winger, and then
Oh,
just be like,
that's the best
They
hand
give the
now,
finger.
signal to the refs,
"Because
Nick.
you're the fucking
I love
idiot."
Flip
And
off the
then-
winger so that everyone knows it's his fault.
They should do is really they should be like, you know what? Because it's you're the asshole moving, you take the face off.
Yeah.
And then they, you know what I mean? Like
I
that
think
would be funny. And also
every
kind of
every move of the chicken dance could be a different issue that happened. Like you were
Right
you
wing,
were yapping.
right wing,
That was the
left
winger.
wing,
That was like just go through the chicken dance move.
center issue.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Good luck to all the GMs trying to fix the game at the winter meetings. Good luck, bro. And that's enough of the Friends and Rivals bitch session for the
No,
start
it's
of
not.
this
It's just
episode
getting.
138.
It's just getting warmed up.
Just heating up, baby.
All right, so before we get to number 2, something popped into my Twix feed today. Who do you think right now in the fan vote is number 1 for the All-Star game? Who do you think is number 1
William
on the
Nylander.
All-Star? That is 1,000. You saw the post. God damn it.
Yes,
But yes.
I actually have that app on my
Damn
phone
it.
too.
I was gonna say Cutter Gauthier, but
No, Cutter Gauthier is the greatest Philadelphia
Yeah,
Flyer in the
baby.
history of Philadelphia Flyers.
He literally said, "Fuck the Flyers."
Ah,
That's right.
Flyers.
fuck the
and,
Flyers.
And their fans had the audacity to be mad.
Oh.
Like that's not exactly how they got Eric Lindros.
Listen. Cutter Gauthier, honorary host of the Friends and
No.
Rivals podcast. You have an open seat anytime you want. Fuck the Flyers.
Fuck the
The
Flyers.
Flyers. We love you, Cutter.
Just when you say it like that with the glasses, Phil, it really makes me laugh. Who is the top goaltender?
I didn't even
Linus-
look down there. I didn't even look
Good.
at that bottom half because I
Good.
knew no devil was even remotely close.
You
To
are
being on it.
1,000% correct.
What? That is not a devil?
That
No.
there's no devil even
Oh.
sniffing the top 5 or 8 or whatever they had.
Maybe by trade?
No.
There could be
Oh,
eventually.
Gibson?
No, UC Soros.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
But
I'm gonna guess
he's
Alex Nedeljkovic.
Oh, no.
no.
Oh.
Nick, you're he's not playing tonight in your game.
Okay.
It's Thatcher Demko. And he made some saves last night against the Rangers
Oh, yeah.
that were just fucking great. He's a good goaltender. He's having a great year. But Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark, two
Ullmark.
Boston guys in the top 5 of the fan voting.
I was gonna say Ullmark because Boston, just because of Boston. I mean,
He's number 5, Nick. Swayman's number 3. Bob is number 2. Georgiev is 4.
yeah, but that's Boston fans, and it's a fan vote, so they're gonna vote for the
is.
guys.
So
Even
on
though
the
they got
forwards, yes, and Toronto's fans and Edmonton. Zach Hyman, is he having that
Yeah.
good of a season? He's an all-star.
Yeah.
So
He's
here
having a
was
great
the
season.
surprising part for me, and we'll ask Nick and Bill this question because both of us have seen the list. How many votes do you think William Nylander has?
39
That's a little
60.
higher, Bill.
69?
million?
Nick got it.
39 million?
Nick got it. 69. It's 69.
Perfect.
And no, it reduces to 69 actually.
It's a fucking fraction?
He does just. Bill,
Math
what you
jokes
said, a
math
million?
jokes are over.
Bill, you think a million?
I said 39 million.
So okay, nobody's taking me seriously.
It's
So-
a little lower. It's a
No
little
idea.
lower there, Bill.
I don't
Oh,
even
it's a
know
little
who's
lower.
in the All-Star game. I follow nothing.
But you know how many fans Toronto has, and you know how many fans people are fans of the NHL.
I'm gonna say 1.5 million votes.
A little lower.
And this is why I was shocked.
All right, a
24
lot
million
lower.
votes.
A lot. It's half.
It's half.
750?
Yeah. 770
740, 744.
Okay.
A lot of people have votes still.
Doesn't seem like a lot to me. I don't know why.
Well,
No, but they're trying to get fucking Morgan Riley into the All-Star game. Come on.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Wow. Just goes
Evan
to show you it's a
Bouchard
joke.
on Edmonton? And people just don't listen. They're still voting Artemi Panarin in.
He's as of right
God
now,
bless
right?
you.
As of
God
that
bless
list,
you.
he would make it, or he would be voted in.
100%. He's at 362,000 votes. For a guy who says, I'm not going.
Because he's got
Great job. Great job. But there's only one rookie on the list. And it's
Yeah.
Luke Hughes.
That's right. And he's only got like 100-something thousand, right?
192,000.
Yeah.
was Connor Bedard already in though from Chicago?
Oh, I would have to imagine he was. I didn't see the Western Conference
You know,
All-Star selection, so I
he's
don't know.
He's pretty much. Well, he might be back before then. I don't know. When's the game?
Yeah.
February, blah blah blah. The week
the
of,
week in between
week-
the week
Football,
before the Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
So what's that? Like February 3rd, I think.
Yeah, the first weekend, and yeah, I don't know how long it takes for him to come back from his jaw injury, but
Let's go. Let's keep the ranting going. Let's go to the next topic.
What the Stadium Series jerseys
No.
haven't
Who
been
knows?
released yet?
Who knows?
What the
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not doing it this year.
they're gonna be.
We
they're
are
gonna be
we are
atrocious.
about a month away. We are about a month away. Either you're right, Nick. Are they
It's gonna be
that
atrocious.
scared to launch them to the public,
I
or
saw
are they just so good that they're waiting?
I saw a genius post today, and I wish I screen capped it and so I could give the person credit. But they were talking about how the Devils team is still designing them. And late Sunday night, Marty asked Fitzgerald for his credit card so he can run to Michael's and get some more poster board and glitter. I mean, why? What are you waiting for?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Another-
There was
another
something that I
miscue.
saw about the Islander jersey. It was the Islander logo, current Islander logo, with the old fisherman style jersey, which I thought was
Like the
pretty cool.
waves.
Yeah, and the lighthouses on the shoulders. And I want to say like the Islanders like put that in some promotional images,
There was.
but I couldn't find it anywhere on their Twitter.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's because Twitter doesn't exist.
Or Twix.
There was-
sorry. My
There
bad.
was an Isles. I forget what it was. Someone thought it might be from the a logo leaked. It's basically like it's an Islanders in like the cursive kind of like
like jersey.
just but across like straight across, but it said like Islanders in like the
No, I'm
blue
saying
and
in like in
yellow,
that
but
same type of scripted font.
yeah,
Where the
similar
jersey
similar.
has jersey.
But
Except
it
it-
looked. It didn't.
I wasn't
look as-
making
look-
fun of the Devils this time, Steve.
It just said island on it though.
Yeah, right. But it looked okay, but I'm like looking at it, I'm like, that could be it because it's something new and we haven't seen it, and it just shows up on some promotional thing, some shirt they have. But at the same time, I'm like, it's pretty lazy, and it kind of meets the requirements for this kind of shitty jersey. I'm expecting it fully to be just basically that, and then on the other Rangers be like, Rangers the opposite. It's just I can't imagine it's going to be anything else. It just
Now-
seems like they can half-ass it. What else could it be?
In
So you-
reality, there's like an 18th month lead time from when they start designing the jersey to when the game is going to happen. So they've had these jerseys done for at least a year then. Like, say it takes them 6 months to design it.
Yep.
They've had them done for a year.
Design a jersey.
Well, they got to design the jersey and then they got to give it to the marketing team, and the marketing team's got to come up with stupid reasons why the design team picks certain aspects.
I don't know.
It's
they
man.
just-
fucking ridiculous. Release the fucking jersey.
Could it just be that they're wearing their regular uniforms?
No, they would never do it. They would never have a special game and not
They had
find a
the
reason to. I mean, it's not like they're capitalizing on the money they're going to make by not selling
No.
the jerseys this far in advance. So they
Yeah,
might as
no.
well just wear their regular jerseys.
Yeah, I mean they had the big spectacle with Seattle and Vegas. They had Vegas come out in Elvis costumes.
Oh yeah, I mean
And
that's
then
a whole nother thing.
Seattle in like, fisherman
The
kind of
fish
style. I
throwing
mean,
guys,
they
yeah.
had fish guys throwing fish over them as they're walking up to the stadium. I mean,
So-
like obviously these kind of things you figure they're gonna put some effort into,
Well, that's
So
the team. The team kind of comes up with that. The players came up with that stuff.
there's no way they players say that.
No, it's always the players that come up with that. And then maybe maybe the marketing team takes it to the next level.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Now that you guys have mentioned the Winter Classic, now the Kraken got in trouble for their jerseys that they used, right?
Oh yeah, because they didn't own.
Yeah, some right to some letter.
Yeah.
But maybe now the Stadium Series jerseys are going through a little extra legality to make sure that they don't.
This is
offend
around
somebody.
the time.
Maybe not offend.
The 15th through the 20th of January is when they've released the Stadium Series jerseys in the past. So this is not
then we got another
uncommon.
week.
Huh?
Okay,
Yeah.
then we got a week.
But still, why? If it was if it was the NFL and every team was wearing a special jersey for the final game of the season, when do you think the NFL would release those jerseys?
I'm not saying that I have a definitive answer by any stretch, but I just had a thought, and I wonder, just like kind of throwing it against the wall. Do you think they're trying to minimize the impact of like counterfeiting sales? Because if they hold off and they release it later, and then nobody's going to be able to buy them from the counterfeiter if
not be able to get it delivered in time.
Yeah. If they actually want to sell them and have them there, like they got to buy them from like the licensed retailers, that kind of thing.
We're already past the time it takes to get a jersey from
idea.
China. Yeah,
What?
but we're already past that the amount of time it takes to get a jersey from China.
Plus, they're in China
That's
New
like
Year.
8
They
weeks.
close the month of January,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like the stretch.
But that's a good point. Limiting the amount of time any counterfeiter, even stateside counterfeiters, have time to make apparel or whatever for it. Still, you're losing more, I think, than you're saving by not having it ready, like Tom said, for holiday season.
Stupid. Dummies.
All right, so just going one more step. Each of the four teams is going to do something stupid walking into the ring or walking into the building, the same way Vegas and Seattle did, right? There's going to be some sort of gimmick, some sort of thing. What do you maybe for next week? What do you think your team's thing is going to be? Like, are the Flyers all going to dress like Rocky to walk into the fucking stadium?
Well, it's in New York.
Doesn't matter. Both teams do it. Both teams do it.
New Jersey, right?
No, it's in New Jersey. It's listed as New Jersey's Stadium Series. Thank you.
I don't know. The Rangers don't really don't have any hokey shit.
They
They're gonna all dress like the Statue of Liberty.
That would be no. I would hate that.
They all come in chanting "Pot Van sucks."
That would be
well. That I can get on the board with that. I can.
Rangers.
Maybe they all dress as taxi drivers.
I was gonna say taxis drive them in, drop them off, and then Isles take a fake LTIR into the train.
And they all have to go the wrong way because Nick ran them off the road.
Wait, did you say that all the Islanders were on LTIR? That's great.
Not the LIRR.
You mean the LIRR? Oh, that's fantastic.
All right.
All right.
I'm done.
Speaking of mass transit, let's take a ride on the Metro. Sponsored by Rich Wholesome Nestle Quick. Hello, boys and girls. Do you hate the taste of regular milk and need energy? Try Nestle Quick. One sip and you can feel the energy in your muscles. Nestle Quick, now available in chocolate and strawberry.
They say the real men drink pink. then I'm a real man for sure. But if you like the brown, I still love you for who you are. Because it's time for acceptance of everyone, all preference. We're all quick on the inside anyway. Nestle Quick, it does the trick.
And we are going to start with your first place New York Rangers. For how much longer? Who the fuck knows?
Hopefully,
Christ
not
almighty.
much longer.
You play against Chicago after you get your doors blown off against Carolina and you have a good game. But listen, guys, it's fucking Chicago. Come on. Bedard falls on Igor and you politely pick him up. You don't fucking run him like some other fucking Metro team does.
Legal.
And you beat the Blackhawks 4-1 in a very ho-hum game. It was a ho-hum game with exception to it being Brennan Hoffman's first NHL game for the New York Rangers. He had a really, really good game with a lot of shots. And as the coach put it, he was noticeable all night. And that was pretty much, even though he did play the next two games, that was the last that we seen of Brennan Hoffman. A couple of odd shifts on the right wing of Zibanejad and Kreider, but that was really about it. But what are you expecting out of a guy when you put him with fucking Bonino and Brodzinski? I'm completely done with the Brodzinski experiment. Something's got to be done. You gotta move him. Or send him back down and call somebody else. And that's exactly kind of what they did today. And they sent Brennan Hoffman back down to Hartford, and they brought up Jake Leschyshyn. So I mean, I think Brennan Hoffman has more upside than Jake Leschyshyn, but I don't get paid to make these decisions. Chris Drury does. So good job, Chris. The other two games of the week was an overtime loss in Montreal where the Rangers were down 3-0, but did storm back to get into that game and push it to 3-3 to push it to overtime. And they lost in the shootout to some fucking no-name goalie. Fuck him. And then they had a date with a very good Vancouver Canucks team who was their second and final meeting of the regular season. Thank God that's over. Next time the Rangers will see them, maybe, would be a Stanley Cup final preview, maybe. But they lost 6-3, and it was a very entertaining game, very highly skilled game, more from Vancouver than the Rangers. But man, Vancouver's got a lot of skill on that team. You look at the Rangers team, and I know a lot of Ranger fans on the Twix are giving them a lot of shit for having kind of a ho-hum month after starting the first 20 games, well beyond everybody's expectation. They've kind of come back down to earth, and you have to remember their depth is completely tested right now. They have no depth because all their depth is being utilized in the first top two lines because Kakko, Hedel are injured, and Fox was gone for a lot of the season. So Fox is still playing his way back. He hasn't been the Adam Fox that we're normally used to. And, you have gaping holes with Hedel and Kakko still on IR. Kakko's really, really close to returning. He didn't really have limitations in practice, but he's still in a non-contact jersey. So I would assume that within the next week or so, you'll probably see him back on the ice. I would imagine maybe in Vegas a week from Thursday. I don't think we'll see him in St. Louis, but maybe one of the two Washington games. It's possible. It's possible he gets a game in New York before going on the Western road trip into California. But you have one line right now. It's Trocheck, Lafreniere, and Panarin. And what can I say about Panarin? Panarin's just been a complete and utter all-star this year. He has been above what everybody's expectation of him is this year, but the depths are being tested. And I think we just have to, I know this is going to sound a little odd coming from me, but we have to have a little bit of patience, get these guys back into the lineup and then see what you got. Then Drury needs to make a move because you can't go into the playoffs with this team. Drury's got to do something. There are punching bags on this team from the fan base, from Bonino to Goudreau to Brodzinski to you name it, and there is a punching bag on this team. and Blake Wheeler is playing top 6 minutes right now because he has to play top 6 minutes because there is nobody else to do it. However, the one guy that may replace Blake Wheeler on the top line or second line, however you want to put it, with Zibanejad and Kreider is Will Cooley. And I thought that was a great move by Laviolette in practice today. And I hope we get to see it on Thursday night. I really would like to see Will Cooley play on the right side and see what he does for an entire game or a couple stretches or a couple of games to see if he gets comfortable on that right side, because he's been great this year. For a rookie coming in and playing the minutes he's playing, he has certainly played well, and I hope he gets an opportunity to do it because I think he deserves it. And that's all predicated until maybe Kako gets back. So, games in St. Louis on Thursday. As I mentioned before, they got a home and home this weekend with Washington, on the road Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. That'll be an ABC game or ESPN game. I forgot. I think it's a national game, so I think it's ABC on Saturday. And then they got Washington at home on Sunday. Nick, how the Islanders doing? They still losing?
Still losing. They just scored. It's 4-2. Also playing Vancouver right now. But it's been mostly a Vancouver game. They've been skating circles around the aisles a little bit. First two periods, especially second period, it was kind of they were shelling the aisles. But yeah, still hanging in. Might be a little too late though. Seemingly, it's only 4.5 minutes left. Anywho, Isles are 1-1 this week. Finishing up a road trip. With a 5-1 win in Arizona in the 5,000 seat arena there. It was pretty interesting to hear when there's so many Isles fans there. It sounded like a home game when the chants were happening, because it's like, when you think about it, there's like a few hundred people that are fans of their team in a arena that only holds about 5,000. It's a very small place. It's loud. I mean, it sounded like the Isles fans were louder than the Coyotes fans. It was pretty wild. 5-1 win. Isles kind of had that game. They're up 2-0 early, and then it basically just took over in the third period with a few more goals, and just team they should beat. Nothing really to say about that game. Loss against Vegas to finish up the road trip. Vegas game, they were not sharp. Not really defensively very good. And that's kind of been the reason why they've kind of they've been where they've been, which is just kind of in the middle of everything. Not winning enough games, a lot of overtime losses getting them by for a while, and it's starting to sneak up on them with the defense being missing Pulak and Pelech for stretches here, because the defensive structure looks pretty bad right now, honestly. And even in this game, they've had a number of missed opportunities of getting the puck out, and then also just not playing well in your own zone. You can't let someone like Luke, fucking Quinn, defensive. What's his? Not Luke. The hell's his name?
Quinn
Hughes. I was thinking Quinn, but I kept thinking of the last name for some reason. Anyway, Quinn Hughes skating around your defense, through your in and out of your forward and defense, and making them look like they don't know what they're doing. Just because you give them too much room is not the right answer. You can't we're playing too much zone in our own end, and it doesn't work, in my opinion, in the new NHL that well. Especially not in 5-on-5. Especially it's kind of like we're just giving the other team all the space they need, and then when we get into the other zone, the other end, it feels like it's difficult to keep the puck in right now, just because you're spending so much time in your own end and sitting back too much. They need to get back to a more aggressive style defensively and be more man on man, in my opinion. It's just too much of this letting teams come to them, and I feel like it's really lazy on Lambert's part defensively. I just don't get it. And when guys are missing assignments because they lead the goals or making missed plays, they're not getting benched. Lambert's not doing that. Trotz would fucking hammer people because they miss something, even especially rookies. But man, he get on vets too, and he would keep make people accountable, and that's not happening right now. And it's just kind of rough. Isles got Pellick back tonight, but he's gonna need some time, a couple games to really get back to maybe his old self. But it's early him coming back. Pulak's still out on IR. He is not skating yet. Varlamov also not skating yet. They moved him to IR. He was day to day technically, but he's now on the IR. So he's there's both those guys. Hopefully be back this month. Don't know when. Pulak's been up for some time. He's been on LTIR, and we're hoping that with Pulak getting back and getting some games back under him and Pellick can hopefully start to get things a little better defensively. But to be honest, I think the system is just fucked. I think Lambert's just not able to really get these guys to really play a better defensive game. I think it's his system, and it's just I don't see how it's going to get better with even with Pulak and Pellick coming back and then being game ready. It's just too many systematic problems I see with the way they play they play defense right now. So I don't see the way they look right now is a team that's just good enough to get to the playoffs and then just not be able to make any noise because while they're a team built for the playoffs, they just don't have the right coaching. It's just not there. So in my opinion, it's going to be a quick playoff exit at the way that the pace is going right now. Once we get there, I know it's a little early, but that's just how we're looking at it. It's just not seemingly getting much better. So we'll see.
So we're back to hating Lambert.
I didn't like Lambert. It never did. It's just
you loved him. You loved him for the past 2 weeks. Don't lie.
He's been getting the team.
I have the footage. I have the footage. Damn it.
The team's been playing well, but he is not able to get them to continually stay at that level. When the team's playing well, the players are playing well. It makes it look a lot better. That's short-term success, but they play with a lot of urgency in the last 2 weeks, and if they don't play at that same level like they're playing right now in the third period, down 2 goals, they gotta be playing that way the whole game. If they don't play that style, it's just they're not going to be successful. So Isles have 4 games coming up this week. Toronto tomorrow on Thursday. They obviously have Vancouver tonight. They're losing now 5-2 after empty netter. At Nashville on Saturday, and then the beginning of a back-to-back on Monday with Minnesota in Minnesota. And that's the Isles this week.
Billy, Penguins. You're on mute, pal. You're on mute.
So the Penguins, by the way, are the next ones that are on deck to get decked by the Vancouver Canucks. So they went through the Devils on Saturday, the Rangers on Monday, the Islanders today, and Thursday they have Penguins. So we'll see if they make it a clean sweep of the Friends and Rivals team on Thursday.
Has that ever happened?
Not that I recall.
Holy
I don't even
crap.
remember anybody playing them four games in a row.
4 games in a row.
Happened, but I don't think
Wild.
they've beat them all.
Fuck the Canucks.
Yeah. Fuck the
Canucks.
So the Penguins, a week ago, I got to talk about them on a hot streak. The hot streak's over, but they're in a phase where they're trading wins and losses. You can't really make much sense of who they beat and who they lose to right now. So I mean, they had home games against the Capitals and the Sabres. They lost both of those, and then they went on the road to play the Bruins and the Flyers. They won both of those. So how does that happen? Well, Crosby, I forget if we talked about last week, but moved into number 12 on the all-time scoring list. So he's past who are these guys that he's passed this year? He has passed Paul Coffey. I thought I had it. I don't. But yeah, he passed. He's in the number 12 overall, and now he's got a while till he catches the next one. Which is like 1,580 points, something like that. Former Penguin Marc-Andre Fleury tied Patrick Waugh on the all-time list, and now is tied for number 2 in goalie wins. So some Penguins and old Penguins, making some progress in their legacy stats there. But this week, it was really Malkin was playing really well in all the games. Ricard Raquel is riding a hot streak after famously not scoring for the first 20 games or whatever the season until he got hurt. So he's up to 5 goals now. So he's playing really well. Erik Karlsson's picking up his offense. So some positive things if the Penguins ultimately, because they're not moving from that seventh place spot. Granted, they're 2 points out of third place, but they're not moving right now from the 7th place spot. And so I hope the Penguins do not get like a false sense of they should go for it kind of thing. When you've got some of these veteran guys that are starting to play well right now, I would love to see them all get shipped the fuck out and blow this thing up. But right now, they're in a place where they're trading wins and losses. The power play is doing all right. I just still don't see them climbing up out of like 7th place. But that's the Pens this week.
Steve Devils.
2 in 1 week, so really not that bad overall. The loss to Vancouver, like everybody's been saying, they're just steamrolling through this area. They played, they were lucky to get out of the first 0-0. At one point, they were outshot 28-7 early in the second period, and in a 4-minute span, they went down 3-0. They battled back to cut it to 5-4, only to get fucked by the refs, just absolutely ignoring a blatant trip where Luke Hughes was not only tripped a player taking his skates out with their skates, but also with their stick as well. And it could have put them up 2 men. They quite possibly could have tied the game right there. They've got the number 1 power play in the league, so there's no reason why to think that they couldn't have tied it up. But the refs decided no, and Vancouver scores a late empty net goal to seal the victory. Injuries is the story this week. Jack's out weeks, not months. So that's good. Timo they're saying, the closest to returning. He just got back out on the ice by himself today. And then you got Palat, Hamilton, and Siegenthaler, who are not even close to coming back. Siegenthaler just broke his foot blocking a shot. Hamilton wouldn't come back until the playoffs, and Palat, nobody really knows because they don't give any information. They got Nolan Foote, who's been out since the first game of training camp. No information on when he's coming back. They called up Shane Bowers and Cal Foote, who we might see on the upcoming road trip. The upcoming road trip starting Thursday in Tampa, Saturday in Florida, and next Monday in Boston. Thankfully, no back-to-backs during this stretch, as they're now 1-7-1 in the second half of back-to-backs. They only have 7 more back-to-backs the rest of the season, thankfully, to complete their league-leading 16. That's it. That's all I got. Because now it's time.
In the door for 56. No, hold on. In the door, $56. Devils Lightning.
Okay. But I'm in New Jersey.
I have to go. $54.
But I'm in New Jersey. I'd have to fly down there and fly back.
Oh, I wasn't talking about you.
Which, trust me, I looked. $350 to get down there Wednesday night and fly back Saturday.
I'll buy your ticket.
You'll buy my ticket, my plane ticket? That's so nice of you.
No, I'll buy.
I know you guys heard it. He said he was going to buy my plane ticket.
I'll tell you what. Well,
that's a commitment. Tom is
I'll
buying
buy
plane tickets for all of us.
I said ticket. I said
yeah, plane ticket.
Bill, shut the fuck up. I will even splurge and buy the $61 tickets.
Where does $61
Devils
put you
Lightning.
in that arena? Upstairs?
Upstairs in the corner.
But like what row?
Oh, that's gonna make all the difference, isn't it? Row M.
No, it's too far. If it was up to L, I would have said yes.
Row J.
Nope, I'm busy. Because now it's time for Trivia with Bill. Yes.
Now this is the wrong Bill.
All right, we got a great one today. It's very topical because this name's come up a few times
In
already.
1946.
The ref.
Today's question is, what is Artemi Panarin's nickname? What is Artemi Panarin's nickname?
No, that's what he does to people. He
Is
toasts
it
them.
Joe's Crab Shack?
Joe's Crab? No.
Bagel.
Jersey Subs?
No.
Is it Jersey Subs?
No, not Jersey Subs. No. No, sir.
Is it Firehouse Subs?
No, it's a
not a
Kaiser
sub.
roll. Kaiser roll.
Kaiser roll. Ooh, sort of close, but no, that is not correct.
Is it French Baguette?
No.
Is it Pumpernickel Rye?
Ooh, that sounds really good. No.
Is it Whole Wheat?
Whole wheat. No.
How about white?
No.
How about white?
That's a weird name. That would
He
be a
is
weird name.
white, but that's not his nickname.
Multi-grain?
No,
Is
not
it?
multi.
I know what it is. I got it. Is it Semolina?
Oh. No. Oh, wait, hold on. It sounds way too similar. I'm going to say Panera.
Oh,
Nera.
no.
Really? That's like us calling Lorita Dorito. It's exactly the same.
It is.
Pretty
I
similar.
agree.
Is
Would have been a
it
better
Yeast?
nickname for him.
Is his nickname Yeast?
Yeast, no, only when he has an infection.
Fast acting yeast.
No, sir.
Ogie.
How about
Ogie.
the Little Russian?
Nope. No.
White Russian.
Is it Holla?
No.
Holla at your
Why
boy.
the fuck would it be Holla? Why would it be Holla?
For the same reason it would be Pumpernickel or Italian or Rye.
Is that a? Can you go through the cheeses again?
Do you want a multiple choice?
Yeah, sure, because we're running long.
I think we need the multiple choice.
Yeah, just because we're running long.
A, Breadman. B, Hot Wheels. C, Captain Crunch. Or D, Magic Angie Robot from Winnipeg.
That's
It's even from why Winnipeg?
What was the last one? What was the last one again?
Magic
Angie.
these fucking glasses. Magic Angle Robot.
Take
from
them
Winnipeg.
off, you
It doesn't
fucking
even make any more
idiot.
sense.
Jesus Christ.
It doesn't make any more sense. But it was Angle, not Angie. Magic Angle Robot from Winnipeg.
It's from Winnipeg. I mean, why from Winnipeg? He's from Chicago.
Where did he play? Did he play juniors?
No,
Or did he
KHL.
just came over from the KHL? Yeah. I'm gonna go with breadsticks.
No, that wasn't one of the.
We got it, breadsticks.
Unlimited breadsticks.
I'm going to say it is the bread man.
Thank you. Yes, it is. He is the bread man.
Right,
It's
man.
I really would have
my
assumed you got that sooner.
My favorite emoji this year.
And now it's time for something with Nick. Oh,
No, this is the inaugural debut of a segment called Money Talks.
Money, it's a gas. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. New plug, give a fuck, G and daydream. Think I'll buy me a Hot Wheels
Money Talks with Nick.
Fucking great.
It's all yours. We're going to look at contracts and see if the player is living up to the contract or not. And we have a very topical one tonight. Nick, floor is yours.
All right, boys. So I don't have any visuals to give you guys tonight, but I'm going to work on that. I got some things I'm just kind of playing with, but
Come with charts.
Those are good visuals.
yeah. I know it's so exciting, but anywho, so the William Nylander contract. This is kind of a really interesting deal because Toronto, as you guys know, have already paid max contracts effectively to Tavares and Matthews, and now Nylander, with Tavares already making a very large amount of money. His deal is coming off of the books in 2 years with Marner's. Now, if you will, right in next year, they'll be making basically all four of those guys will be making $11 million a year. About now, you're paying. The Toronto's looking to do is basically have two centers and two right wings next year, make effectively $44 million across the four of them.
Half the cap.
Half the cap effectively. And by the way, with that said, they're what they have next year in terms of signings, they have 10 forwards at $55 million, 3 defensemen at $10 million, and 1 goalie at $850,000 signed for next year. So that's 75% of their cap. They're right now, if we look at it from 1 year from now, with nothing changing, they have half a D corp, pretty much most of their forwards, obviously, and just a guy, 1 goalie in play that basically is on a entry level deal. So there's a lot of things to unpack here, right? There's a couple of options that the teams have. Now let's talk about Nylander and his in his contract of what he actually signed. So he signed an 8-year, $11.5 million contract, which is quite substantial. It'll put him right into the top 10 of contracts in the NHL, which, by the way, Toronto has 3 of the 10 right now, in Tavares, Marner, and Matthews. So if you're looking for offense, which Toronto is doing and trying to make their teams, obviously score a lot of goals and be exciting for their fans, they've achieved that. With all of that said, these 4 guys have been on the team for all 4 years that Tavares has, since he's signed with the Toronto, and then it's basically equaled 1 playoff win.
One playoff win.
1 playoff win. So just to put that into perspective, before they made this signing. So this is a big deal. It's a ton of money, and they're paying him like an absolute star, top 10 player in the league. And he has only been over a point per game player 1 time. He's 27, so this will make him 35 years, about 35 when he's finishing this contract coming up as it starts next year. And it's a full no move. It's just he's there. He wants to be Toronto. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. Toronto likes him, but here's the thing. When we're looking at his point production, because he's really a goal scorer. He's a goal point guy. That's what he is. He does get some points and some time on the penalty kill here and there, but he's a winger. This is a premium you're paying for. Basically in the top 10, if this is a winger, this has got to be one of the, I would say, 2 best guys in the league at that position. Does anybody in this podcast feel that William Nylander is a top 2 guy in the league at right wing? Is anybody going to say that?
No.
He's not. So you got to think too that Marner, who is coming up on his next deal, he's going to be a UFA along with Tavares in 2 years. So next year coming up, they're all on, and then the year after that's when Tavares' deal is going to, he'll come off. He's going to re-sign there. Everyone knows that he's going to come down for some sort of sweetheart deal, likely, unless he asks for too much money. Then maybe they won't re-sign him. But Marner is going to be signing for everything. He's going to be getting what Matthews got. Matthews got $13 million. They had almost matching deals, but previously. So Marner, who's been there longer than Matthews, and he wants to be there. assuming he wants to be there. They didn't trade him. They could be either in one of two options, either in the Tavares situation where with the Isles had, where Marner goes and says, you know what, peace out. I'm not gonna, don't trade me. I want to sign, but then jettisons them and they leaves them with nothing in terms of trade backs of any kind. Or they go fuck it and just buck the trend and say, we know that only one team has ever won a cup with a $10 million player. But what about four guys making $10 million a year? Because we can do that, right? So realistically, though, Tavares is going to sign for a lot less money. He's not going to sign for probably more than 5. He'll probably sign, maybe even league minimum. Who knows? He's made a lot of money over his career. He wants to be in Toronto, and he's probably going to try and keep Marner there, whatever he can do. So there's really two options with them. They have to either keep all 4 guys, right? And that means Marner's going to come back for probably about $12 million a year. So you'd have 2 right wings who can't play together. I mean, realistically, you can put them on the ice together, power plays and all that, right? That's no problem. You can make that happen. But they're not going to be regular, on the same time. They're not going to be on one line. You're going to have to put these 2 lines together with Tavares and Nylander, Marner and Matthews, or vice versa. And it's just all of your capital is in these 2 forwards or forward lines with literally nothing on the back end, nothing in the goaltending. I mean, you're basically just telling the fans this is what it's going to be. We're hoping to hit, pay dirt somehow when we score 1 million goals in the playoffs, right? So it's going to be really interesting to see if they decide to, like I said, keep Marner and put him up for 12 mil, resign Tavares for somewhere in 5 million under, and then just try to sign a bunch of team guys for less. Or option B, which I think they're going to do, which is going to let Marner walk. I don't think they can realistically re-sign Marner and make it so that they can fit another $12 million into that position. They really need to balance their money across the board. And if you can get Tavares down to maybe a couple million, maybe like 2 or 3 million a year, get Marner leaves, all of a sudden you're going to have 15 million or so to work with to get a top D man, a top goalie, and actually balance your team out. Because if you look at what they've been doing for the last few years, the 4 of these guys, Nylander, Tavares, Matthews, Marner, point wise, they've been pretty much, that's what they're known for. They get goals, but they have nothing else on the back end for the whole team. So when I look at this, I was looking at how much power play percentage these guys put up. Nylander consistently puts up between 3 years ago, he put about almost 38% of his points on the power play. The last 2 years, including this year, he's been about 32 to 35 range. So it's about roughly a third of his points are on the power play. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. And if you look at, Tavares, he's had about 34, 48, 27% the last 3 years. Matthews, 27, 32, 28. Marner, 25, 36, 30. When I look at that, I think of it as, Matthews is probably the best in terms of 5-on-5 for them. He's got less percentage of his power play points. In the power play, he's really a guy that's, pretty much all the ice. He's your superstar. I don't look at that in Nylander. A guy getting a third of his points on the power play, and he's not a point per guy player. You're paying him $11 million a year. He's not your first right wing because you have a guy named Mitch Marner in front of him. All of this adds up to a very strange scenario for this team. And to boot, if you look at power play across the board for them, they were second in the league 3 years ago or 2 years ago. Last year they were 4th. Right now they're 7th. They don't get the most power play opportunities across in the NHL. They kind of really run about the halfway to a little bit lower in the number of actual opportunities, but it's not looking like they can realistically rely on the power play to get them wins in the playoffs. Even in the playoffs, they've scored points. They've had all 4 of those guys have realistically been almost point per game players, especially last year. They were all point per game basically in their second series, in the first 2 series they played. But that doesn't equate to wins. So at the end of the day, what is Toronto doing here? Are they going to continue with this crazy just book the trend. Who cares? And that was kind of the Dubas thing, right? And then sign these guys that are really talented to crazy deals because you got to keep them. Or do you finally go, you know what? It's time to just start to blow this up and let Marner walk and start allocate some of this money to someone else other than Morgan Riley, who, by the way, is not an all-star in my opinion. They don't have an all-star goalie. And if the other two defensemen, you probably haven't even heard of that are signed for next year. So I mean, you just don't have enough guys to really round out a solid team. So to me, this is a deal that, for them, it makes sense only if you care about just scoring goals and getting people in the seats if in Toronto and keeping people happy during the regular season. But man, it does not look good for you to have any success with this kind of contract. There's just no way you should spend a premium on a guy who's not a top guy at his position in the league when you're paying him to be a top guy in the league when he's not a center, he's not a defenseman, and there's no goalies making $10 million a year that are winning cups. So I mean, I don't really understand this deal. It feels like a high overpayment on these guys, and they're really investing in a guy who's 27 this year and only one time a point per guy player. So
I can't wait till next year when he's just terrible. Because you're right. I think it's a contract year for me. He knew it was a contract year. He knew he had to play up to it. I don't think he is an $11 million guy personally. 8.5, 9 maximum for this guy, in my opinion.
He's very talented, but
I agree. Agreed.
He's on a team that just they're all offense. And I mean, they are a very, very much just score goals. They don't have the ability to separate from the better teams. And I think it's
do you think the window got smaller for Toronto to win in the next, counting this year, the next 3 years?
Yeah,
because
I think so, because
you're not going to have Marner, you're not going to have your core four, quote unquote.
Yeah, Marner's, I don't know how they're going to operate after. So next year's the last year, realistically. This year, next year. They said they have 2 more years, this year, next year, and then.
Or you're begging for a huge, huge jump in the cap.
Well, even if you get a huge cap jump, it doesn't really matter because you're still spending almost, even if it goes up that much, right? Like they're basically, half their cap is right now. Even if it goes up,
if it goes up, what, 4 million next year and then 10 million the year after that.
I think it's only be like 45% of their cap is going to be at that point. I don't see it being that. They're really thinking it's going to go a lot in this case, right? And it could, but still, even if all that's said,
it's not fiscally prudent at all.
For a guy who's not a dominant two-way player, I don't understand that much money. To me, it's kind of and he's not young. We're not talking about a Jack Hughes who just signed a deal and he's 22.
Right.
Or Luke, or Quinn, or Adam Fox, or McKinnon before he signed his last deal, or
right. You're not getting this guy.
Guys,
you're not going to get the value.
How do you really think he's going to have the same impact for he's been having, which has been going up, right? He's been going up, but
right.
To see
but
this
that's
guy
got to peak at 32. Yeah.
It could peak now, and he could start to go down in his first year before it even kicks in. I mean, he's doing really good, and he's very talented, man. But can he when Marner goes, and Tavares starts to really decline?
Right.
How is that going to look on them? I mean, they really need to start to figure out how they're going to surround these guys, these superstars, with guys that are not 4 superstars, right? In their eyes, you have to start putting other guys in there so you can get defensemen in there and make that team better. But
they need to start finding the rusts, those kind of players, those players that are going to complement these guys, which was what Pittsburgh did so great during their run, was finding those other guys.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate though.
Well, you're
because I think everybody's kind of in agreement that he's not, the contract's bad. So I'm gonna say 2 things off the start. I agree. I've always agreed Toronto's putting too much eggs in that forward basket. they've got a lot of talent there, and it's disproportionate. I agree with that. I also agree he's not like a top 2 winger in the league. But when I look at that contract now, knowing that there's that the cap's going up, that we all know that the cap's going up, I think if he went out in the free agent market, he's going to get that deal. He's going to get that 11.5 from somebody. Like, I don't think it's disproportionate. Like, I think it's a legit amount for what, you know, his value is. And is it an issue for Toronto to have all those high price guys? Yeah, but he's also an asset. So I don't think that contract is untradeable if that's the route that they decide they need to go in the future.
Full no move clause.
Full no movement. Yep.
It's all
No move.
yeah, full like
all 8 year. All 8 years.
So it's
Unless he
somebody
wants to
else
go.
that would have to get moved.
Yeah, but he does. But again, I do think still he that is the deal that he would have got.
Listen,
Well, good luck, Toronto.
I think it would make sense, Bill, if he was their top winger and they had a top center and they want to pair them together and be the 1-2. But that's not even the case here. Like, I mean, maybe he's the guy that that replaces Marner in 2 years, right? And that makes sense. But they're putting a lot of eggs on this guy when he's going to be, when this contract kicks in, he'll be 28 to start.
Ooh. Ooh. And they're still going to have Martin Jones in net, right?
Yeah. He's UFA right now.
Yeah.
Maybe. We have
Dennis, well, I'm saying right now they have Martin Jones in net. They could have, I don't know. They could have done a lot more.
They have Ryan Reeves for 2 more years.
Awesome. So, you made Billy upset. He had to leave.
Jeez.
All right. Excellent first segment of Money Talks with Nick. And let's go to this date in Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Right here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here, Coke Zero's the way to go.
This one's going to bring us to year of our Lord 2013. Please go to May 16th. May 16th. 2017.
May 16th was a Thursday. It was also the American Idol finale for that season. Just in case you were wondering.
Did you write that down?
No, just that it was the finale, not who won.
Well, why did you write down it was the finale?
Because we used to have people over. We used to watch it when it was on Fox, and we'd have people over. No breakfast. Sorry to disappoint you. Lunch was a bologna and cheese sandwich with a can of Coca-Cola. Dinner was 1 1/2 cheeseburgers and 1 hot dog with some potato chips and a can of Coca-Cola. Why did you pick Thursday, May 16th in the year 2013?
Well, obviously, that was the day a man cut off his own penis during a fight with his girlfriend in Taiwan.
Of course.
The next time he fights with his girlfriends, he won't be so cocky. A drunk man in I'm gonna make me pronounce this in Geelong, Taiwan, reportedly used scissors to cut off his own penis and testicles during an argument with his girlfriend, according to a Chinese newspaper. The 46-year-old, whose name has not been released, reportedly flushed his love muscle down the toilet before his girlfriend rushed him to the hospital. By the time he got there, he had fallen into a coma due to blood loss. The doctors said that had the man not flushed his penis, they would have likely been able to reattach it. With only 1.2 inches of his manhood left, He's Chinese.
No. Cut off a
The
half inch.
man the man is reportedly still able to urinate.
Thank God.
Oh, man. Oh God.
On
He
his
has
next girlfriend.
He has also reportedly emerged from his coma and is expected to make a full recovery. That's what happened May 16th, 2013.
Time's a creep. Time is a weirdo. Where does he come up with the shit? It's so disgusting.
Bill, I don't know, bud. You're gonna have to listen to the playback.
Be happy your shit cut out.
Oh boy.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I thought this was good.
I like that we went international.
You like it?
Like
Was
that
it
we went.
international?
Yeah. Well,
I missed an international one? Shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
It's
on par.
happens. I think
It's on
Nick
par
might
with
have
Tom's
muted
Tall
that
Tales of
section.
Tallywhacker Turmoil. It's right on there.
Well, did he come or what?
You're really
You-
trying to make that catch on, aren't you?
See that? You know, if you would have heard the story, you wouldn't have asked that question. Because you would know the answer.
Oh. Then he must have.
Yes. Of course, yeah, they found it in the sewer and he came.
Interesting. It's
Yes,
very
it is.
intriguing.
All these little tidbits, trying to piece them all together.
He's trying to figure the story out, yeah.
If you had the yeah, I know. If you had the opportunity on your team to trade for Trevor Zegras, would you do it? Because that
Depends.
apparently was a big hit on the Twix tonight.
I saw that. I feel like, it depends on how much you feel like you're giving up for him, because it doesn't sound like Anaheim feels like he's a superstar player in their eyes. So, I don't know. That's gonna be. I think he could move. That would be pretty interesting to see him go.
Mercer, Holtz, and Seamus Casey.
You would do that?
Yeah.
Are you nuts?
Yeah.
You're
They're
nuts.
barely playing Holtz, so who gives a shit?
You're nuts.
And Mercer is RFA, but he's going to sign a big deal.
Might as
He's
well.
going to get.
The Ducks would do that in a heartbeat because that's the exact type of player that they're looking for in a Dawson.
He's going to get $5-6 million a year, and he's a third line player. He's a second line.
You don't think that's a
winger.
lot to give up? You're talking about injuries, right? To Hughes and to your laundry list of Devils. You don't think he's a little too frail to play over in the East?
Oh, Zegras?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? You're not going to say that in playoffs. Playoffs are a whole different ball game. I don't know if he's physically built to play for any one of our teams.
He can play on my team.
I mean, it'd be nice to have another offensive player that can score goals. So, I mean, and young. So, I mean, depends what we want, though. I don't know what the Isles can trade for him. It seems like he's probably go somewhere that like a deal like Steve was talking about. A couple of guys that go back.
A couple NHL ready guys and a prospect.
Yeah.
NHL role playing guys. That's what they need.
Second, third line guys that would help them catapult them to the next level, probably. But
Mercer is this generation's Travis Zajac.
Well, a solid third line guy.
Yeah. So, but why wouldn't you give
take him?
Why wouldn't you give that up to get a bona fide goal scorer that this team needs?
Because you're going to need that depth scoring. Somebody put out some depth scoring chart, and all the top teams were toward the bottom of the depth, except for like Winnipeg.
I love Dawson Mercer. I love the way he plays. I definitely think there's somebody in Utica that could fill those shoes.
Interesting. I'd take Dawson Mercer right now.
You got to give to get, right? So I'm willing to give to get.
3-team deal.
No, we're not.
Team deal.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't do that just because they wouldn't want to have to play him 5 or 6 times a year. 2 times a year is good.
Potentially in the playoffs. I know. I thought that. I saw it on the Twitter.
Well, you know, if the playoffs started today.
Yes. All of our teams would be playing each other. Yes. That was a quality.
Not true.
That was good. That was good.
All right, where the storm is getting here, so I'm going to sign off before the internet goes. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Go on the Twix, go in and take a look at our hilarious gag on Steve.
Yeah,
it was incredible. If I do say so myself, while you're on there, follow us on the Twix at @friends_rivals.
So you could see more of this hilarity.
Go on to Apple Podcasts and write us a review. We're in the air if you want us to. While you're there, leave turn on notifications for our podcast so you never miss an episode of the Friends and Rivals podcast. Billy, say something, Woody.
Happy Wednesday, guys. Wednesday. We all seen this storm, you know. Wind, like instead of Wednesday.
Ah, okay, I get it. They're on blue.
Oh, my friends and rivals. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off.